Yo, what's up guys? I made all of the Hellhounds already, and that's exactly what we're gonna do in this video. Use all Hellhounds in World Guild Battle, and let's see which ones are actually worth to build, because a lot of people are saying, oh wait, the others are not leveled yet. They are over here, here, and over there. A lot of people do say Shumar. Shumar's the one that everyone's looking out for. Tark and Seek are the most common ones that people will build as well. But how about Gamir and Shamar? Let's just look at them, what they do, and also if they're actually usable. So first starting off with the ones that are slightly less common. The one over here, the Shamar. We just have a skill 1 for damage, skill 2 for increasing cooltime. It's a little bit on low rates. I'm not planning to skill them up yet until they actually show some worth. And then this one over here, which is a strip steal, and afterwards also stun plus a slow, which is quite a denial of a turn right there. Then we have the Gamir, which is also just a skill 1 for damage. Skill 2 is going to be absorbing attack bar. And skill 3 is going to be increasing your attack power as your HP worsens. When you take fatal damage, grants endure to yourself and gain an instant turn. That also kind of makes the endure right away remove. When you take fatal damage, yeah, it could have been just an anti-death mechanic, but that kind of is, but you get rid of the endure right away. I am kind of thinking if this might be a replacement for a Homunculus Wind on Giants, but I'll test that out in a different video. His multipliers look pretty decent, but I'm pretty curious about this part. How much damage improvement do you actually get? I will test that first before I go into the World Guild Battles itself to see if it's worth to actually play around with that in the first place. Then we have Shumar, which is the one that is, well, everyone is looking out for. We have the speed damage over here, speed damage over there. Get 25 speed, and if you're faster than the enemy, you get the 50 crit rate, and they also do less damage on you. Very, very darn strong right there. Then we, of course, also still have the normal two that are very familiar. We got Tark, just damage on the S1. We have some speed increasing damage on this, but also extra damage on harmful effects. I've been using him in my R5 team, and he's really darn good over there. Because this team up also does give a branding, which makes it a perfect AI brander. It is a one-time hit, so you are bound to the 15% that you're gonna miss it, but it's really, really good for R5. And I'll showcase that in a second because it's running in the background anyways. Then we have this one, which is going to be a decreased speed on the S1, a block HP recovery kind of thing on this one, and then just a normal hit on this. So Seek is actually the least changed out of all of them. So the R5 team that I did just mention on it is pretty much this team over here, which I've showcased a whole bunch of times already. What we have over here is the team on the left, where we have the Ken moving first. Brandia will move over there. Ken will take the double turn, that's totally fine. But then afterwards, we have the Tark going in for a potential move, because the Tark is the next one in line to move on this team. And then Tark will go for team up and also provide a branding right away, boss dead. That's really nice right there. So you have a branding guaranteed for your bail. However, there's also branding options in there and branding options on the Shihua itself. So the brand was kind of already there. It's just a little bit of a higher rate. And if you go for a more like random-ish team, it will have better value as well. So let's first test out this guy. They're all not max leveled yet because I just leveled them in getting the 2A, but leveling them itself, I'm mostly doing Giants later, but I don't have the Giants team ruined right now. So none of them are max leveled yet. All that we're going to do for this first test is see if we go for this, putting a unit towards very low HP, if you would get an insane amount of damage boost on this. And then we can also test that on the normal version if you just give a Raccoon a boost on that stuff. And let's just put very high damage to this just for the sake of it. Okay, so this is the damage set we'll work with. These are the artifacts. Let's give the booster some runes. Okay, got some runes on these. But let's see if this does give a big damage improvement or not. So first we're going to try the version where we are on lower HP. And therefore also potentially more damage. There are a bunch of shield sets over there, but I guess we can still kind of see the damage out there. So first hit is a 2k. Second hit is going to be a 10.9. Okay, let's redo that with a normal hit right there. Not too crazy of a hit. Maybe on a defense break you would have hit more. Also, pretty nasty shields out there, I guess. If we hit this one more time, well, actually, that's not a fair... Well, we can still see the second hit, I guess. Maybe you don't even break the shield fully in this one. 2k into a 8k. So we're getting a damage increase of about 20-ish%, I would say. Not crazy good. So I guess being fully at 1% HP, you get like a 30 to a 40% damage boost. I was hoping for a little bit more. So that is not something we're gonna base the common team off, because I think it's a little bit too tricky to do. We are currently actually fighting a very strong guild, so definitely not easy targets out there. But let's see where I can kind of get somewhat bruisery-ish hits in for all of those doggos. Okay, it's definitely not gonna be easy yet, but I see a few, at least for the Schumer, that looks like nice, so let's just go for this one and we'll kind of figure it out. Okay, so these are the 5 doggos that we're working with. I think I want to place you over there. I think you're gonna get a cleave in there. But then the other 3, well, I can definitely see a cleave version of you working over here. Then the final 2 are definitely going to be really rough, I would say. How many things do you strip? Do you strip all? No, you only strip 1. That's kind of mediocre too. Okay, these 2 hits I'm not too sure about. But let's first focus on these because I already got an idea on those. Okay, so these are going to be the teams. First one, kind of weird shit because I actually have no clue how to beat this with this kind of doggo. So we'll just see how it works. Over here, I'm planning to go for a strip stun steal kind of style on this thing and then reset it with you and then have Gojo for a strip over there. Over here, we have just a simple cleave team into at least trying to kill everything once and then just bruising it out from there. And over here, we're trying to get a snipe in on the Carcano from the Shumar. And then Carlos going rampage on this thing. If they hit me with anything, more will be on the tech more and therefore also go for the damage. And over here, a pretty typical team, and I think this will be a common team. We used to use this with the Siren. But now with a Tark, it might potentially be better, but we'll see how that works out. But let me first go into reruning. And this is gonna ask a lot from my Swift depth. So that was a good 30 minutes of reruning once again. Teams that we have. This team over here is just gonna be bruiser, weird shit, kind of whatever. We'll see if it works. This team over here is gonna be the Gojo into the strip over here into the Ganymede. Not even sure if I have enough damage for that, but we shall see. This team over here, there's quite a bit of speed gap, but we're triple fight on this Seek, which is kind of funny. And we do have some massive speed increasing effects over here, so we pray that works. Not really on the Seek, it's more on the Leia, but then again, we'll just see if that works. We get an attack buff, speed buff, and a crit buff, so that might be funny. We, of course, have the Shumar on a fast set. Gonna be damage on fire. Hopefully enough speed for you to take over after that right away to do some damage on a light. And if all things go to shit, we have this one, and both of them are missing a little bit of crit rate. Because, whatever, we just try shit. The chilling over here with some speed of will runes in there. We do have your set in here and your set in there. One thing I did forget, of course you need some shield runes. So let's add in some shield runes on this one. Okay, well, adding in the shield runes, I also had to ruin the speed by a little bit. So let's just add some speed increasing effect on your left side. And that should be a-okay. Let's just see if this works out, because I think a lot of these teams are gonna be pretty freaking horrible. But I kind of want to give this a try. And the video of tomorrow is going to be all of the Inferno. So we do take a first turn. Nothing is on will, which is actually kind of good, especially if it happens like this. Death Break it? Too bad. Death Break would have been funny. Since everything is stunned, I could get longer provokes in, but let's just do this for now. How much damage is this? Not too bad of... It's not really crazy of damage, but it's also not too bad of damage, I would say. Kind of-ish. I definitely want to get you on the provoke train. Double provoke over you. Yep, that's where we start taking the damage on you. That's nice. How much damage is this dealing right now? Not too big a fan of Mr. Gamar. Or Gamir, whatever it is. This is more of the hit about the others and him being fully off-will. I see a lot of teams off-will on Siege these days. Okay, so we do outspeed this. Can we strip? We do properly strip, so we definitely actually don't need this, but I still kind of like to go for the stun over there. Was nothing to strip, but now it's also the big question, do we have enough damage to do anything after this? This skill also does increase cooldown. I don't have that much in... what's it called? Don't have that much of... Fuck, how to say it? Accuracy! Jesus. English, so hard sometimes, huh? But it was good enough to actually get it going for now. Do we stun you again, or do we start stunning something else? You will increase 1 cooldown. I think we just rather get you a stun in right now. We do get the stuns every time. That's kind of nice. We do have to defend in there. That's not the greatest. Let's see if we can remove that. Can remove that right now. Damage, not too great as well. That's good. Let's just go for a reset on you once again. And some damage over there for increases. No increases whatsoever. Can we get another stun? Not another stun. We're getting low on the HP on all of my units right now. Let's just get you on a reset. Oh, it does have Puppeteer, but that's kind of bad. Okay. Clash, strip, and stun. Not too big a fan of this unit just yet. Not too big a fan of this unit just yet. Maybe I'm also spreading the damage and I actually don't have Death Breaker to put proper damage to anything. But let's just claim it that the unit is not that great. It's not my fault. Let's just do it that way, right? It's never your fault. It's always the fault of something else. If we can get an additional turn on this, never lucky. I don't think I have enough damage to get through this right now. Nope, doesn't really look like it. I think I'm gonna die. Yeah, especially since you're healing a little bit too much. Ain't gonna work. We'll have to figure out a better team for this dude over there. So we do fully outspeed over here. That is good. And then we go for the boost. And then we go for the damage. Yes, decent damage. Everything will have second life, but you definitely hit this. Apparently a little bit more than I was hoping it to do. Can we kind of survive? Can kind of survive, but not really. Okay, you against the world. Skill, well, I did not really add too much damage on you because I was hoping things to already be dead by this point, and you critting me 3 times in a row doesn't really help me neither. Okay, let's see if this works a little bit better. So hopefully, Schumer, can you take out this unit? 24k, not enough damage. Uh-oh. We should be getting enough bar over here, though, if it doesn't proc. Okay, it does not proc. We can at least kill from this one right now. That's good. We can take out you by that. That's also good. And then we can go for cleanup on a you. Which, not really as planned, but it did kind of work out as planned. Oh, we have one more hit to go over here. This one, we go for this over here. So to be honest, I think it would just simply die to an S2, but I kind of just want to see the S3. I also want to see what turn order. So you brand first, and then hit with that, and then the strip comes in last, which not really the order I would like to see personally, but it is somewhat okay. So good thing you hit that one. I don't care about that one that much. Pew, you did. And then your damage is not too bad on that neither. Not too bad. Didn't have the speed buzz as of yet there in the first time it did hit it, but still kind of okay. And we can also crit wrong element. So some of those teams seem pretty good. Some of those teams not so good. Let's give that another try. Let's see what we can do against this one. It's a little bit of a spread of all kinds of teams, so might work again to do something similar. I kind of did like this team, so we will use that again. I also do feel like that this team could work over here. Probably the more is not really the right take on it, but it's gonna be funny. I do expect to be able to use this against this, most likely-ish. Yeah, I think I can clear this one in the first hit. Then the 2 issue teams once again. So this team and the other team. I think I have to switch a little bit up for both of y'all. Okay, so these are the 2 teams that are going to be even worse than the previous team. So I absolutely had no clue how to properly hit this. So I thought of one thing and one thing only. We gotta reno it or something. So we just boost up the reno. You're the lowest HP, right? Just to double check. Yep, you are. And then this thing, kind of a weird-ass bruiser is what we're looking at. With Revenge and Will. That's even good? I don't think so, but we're gonna see. Maybe I should have just vioed it. I think those 2 teams are gonna lose again, and maybe those units are just not that good, or are just not that great at thinking with a team with those units. So, first of all, please clear out this thing. We do clear it out. That's really good, so we can go for a nice hit over there. Yup. Okay, you give the boost. Don't think you would kill. You go for the right element. That is nice. So we can tap that again. This team, I can see the potential in this. Making the Schumer actually kill is not that easy, though. You definitely have to hit something pretty squishy. So we once again outspeed. That's a little bit awkward, but we also do outspeed with you, so that's not the worst. Let's go for you. And then this doesn't strip that much. That's perfect. I actually do want to force your turn in as well. Why not? Your skill is not going to do all too much against us. We have counters. Okay, that nearly took out our first life on that unit right there. Let's just see if we have a lot more damage right now. Give me some death breaks. Those are not death breaks. Okay, can we take out you right now? Not really still. I'm kind of disappointed in your damage output, to be honest. Okay, we also lose the passive as of now. We can still revive with a Morris later on. That is an option. If we just proc enough. Okay, this will absorb attack bar. Let's give some of that so we can maybe cycle out of it. No, we're not going to cycle out of it. Or no, actually, we are going to cycle out of that. Like, that cycling out is not too bad. As a bruiser unit, maybe has some potential. Actually, I kind of wanted him to hit me for the final hit. Come on, hit me. Hit me. Okay, Morris, calm down. It's not that serious. Okay, everything's proccing like crazy right now. Come on, give me the final hit. Yep, now we're on the Adur. Insta turn. Double miscrit. Love this game. Into the additional turn and die. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that unit. Not gonna lie. Not too sure about that unit. Okay, not sure if we're gonna be able to clear this unit right away. Should I even aim for it? Because I think this one can die. But this one, I'm not too sure. No, we're just gonna send it. How much damage? Yeah, Strip comes in a little bit late on that team. That's kind of an issue, where Siren does do that a little bit better, where the Strip comes in earlier, right? So that's an issue, same as that going 3 times. That's also an issue. Yeah, Siren might be a little bit more interesting for that still, but at least we tried. Now on this, we got resisted. Okay, all eyes on Reno. Oh, it was actually 100 rest, so Reno got a lot of double numbers. We are looking at double 3s. That is not as much as I would have liked to see over there, to be honest. I would have liked to see a little bit more than just a double 3. That's, yeah. I think Reno dead, right? Reno not dead. Wow, that's interesting. But I think Reno's never going to get back to skills unless we proc an ungodly amount of time, but we're not that lucky, it seems. Not that lucky. We dead. Reno wasn't the thing. I needed a little bit more than double 3s. Well, at least we have this team going in. We have something going for us. And then this one over here, and then that one over there. And that's also less damage than I was expecting. My guild is gonna call me Ninter. Yikes, that's my... Why is everything proccing like crazy, though? Everything instantly takes double turns. Well, okay, I guess I'm kinda dead. Did I just only win 1? No, I won 2. That's probably the worst in World Guild Battle I've done in a very long time. So this was the reaction of my guild on this. A few losers and then, yep. Was doing good. Still better win rate than Glorious. Doesn't matter. Those doggos, they are interesting for some, but not so interesting for some others. Ones that I would classify as good and to build. Tark, but more for R5 than for Siege, in all honesty. And I would say the Shumart. The Shumart definitely has potential, but maybe more in a bruiser fight than a super nuking fight, as I just did. The Gamir and Shamar, I don't really see the value on them too much. Like, sure, you have the strip, steal, whatever, but you're not going to build that much accuracy on him to actually have, like, super high value on that. And you're kind of a bruiser-ish unit, but then again, also don't really see the potential on it too much. Well, that is my verdict on all of those Hellhounds. Tomorrow is going to be the video on all of the units that are Infernos. And I think the Infernos are, piece by piece, probably having more interesting units than the Hellhounds. Of course, I think the most interesting out of this whole 2A is going to be the Shumar. But after the Shumar, Tark is niche to nice. Seek is still Seek, nothing really changed. But over here, you got a few upgrades, which might be more interesting. So let's see that in the next video. Guys, thanks a lot for watching for this one. See you always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.